Hi everyone, I'm David, and today I'll talk about the purpose of government in a civilization. To answer this question, we first need to know what exactly a government is. According to the dictionary, a government is the governing body of a nation, a state, or a community, which is the core part of a civilization. Looking at all the well-developed modern civilizations, what do they all have in common? A strong and stable government, disregarding its form. And it is the same in early civilizations. Imagine a civilization without a government. That means there are no laws, no leaders, no order. Everything is in chaos. The civilization indeed will not be strong. Therefore, government plays an ultra important role in civilizations to stabilize the civilization and to make it become more civilized. So first of all, government keeps a civilization organized. The early civilizations settled down in a land called Mesopotamia. In the early civilizations, agriculture was the primary food source. Therefore, irrigation system was needed to be arranged on all the fields to drain water and to prevent floods. Crops had to be regulated regularly, and planting and harvesting had to be timed perfectly. For all of these to be accomplished properly, a stable government was a must. And here's a quote from the textbook. These activities required organization, cooperation, and leadership. It took many people working together, for example, for the Sumerians to construct their large irrigation system. As we can see, Mesopotamia had everything perfectly organized due to its perfect management, which can only be done with a government. Mesopotamians were the first to have a government in the five aspects of a civilization, which is advanced cities, specialized workers, complex institutions, record keeping, and improved technology. Government also brings order to a civilization. If we were all angels, then there would be no need for a government. However, we are not angels. Therefore, we need a government to keep us in order, with law. Law is the most important thing to keep a civilization stabilized. And evidence for this would be the Rome Republic. Rome Republic lasted for nearly 500 years. The Rome Republic had an outstanding government. Their government was in the form of a democracy. There were the consuls, the senates, and the assemblies. The consuls were the president that were elected by the people. The senates were a group of government officials that made important decisions. They were also voted by the people. The assemblies were made up of people and passed laws and voted for their leaders. The Romans also created the written law code, and their laws were proposed by the assemblies, which are the people, and passed by the Senate. Therefore, their law was fair and justified. And here is a quote from the textbook. The laws were carved on 12 tablets, or tables, and hung in the forum. They became the basis for later Roman laws. And this is a stone tablet with their laws carved on it. Rome's law has affected the development of laws in Europe. It became the basis for the law codes for most of the countries in the Western world. The Roman law was a key factor for Rome's success to become one of the greatest civilizations in the world. When a civilization is in order and is organized, they can definitely develop more in science and technology. Therefore, government also helps a civilization to achieve and develop in technology. An example of that would be ancient Egypt. Ancient Egyptians achieved inconceivable accomplishments in science and technology. They created the solar years, geometry, and developed their system of writing. They also created alloy by mixing metals together, and they've achieved a lot more in science and technology. Egypt was also famous for its architecture, which is the pyramids. The pyramids still amazes the historians nowadays, and is known as one of the greatest man-made structures on Earth. And they are seen by people as God's work. Ancient Egypt's achievements was the work of their government. Egypt's government structure was the shape of a pyramid, with the ones who hold the most power at the top, and the ones with the least power at the bottom. The pharaoh was at the top, and he was seen by the people as a god. He owned all the lands, took all the taxes, and defended Egypt from outer attacks and invasions. Then there are the government officials, soldiers, scribes, merchants, artisans, farmers, and at the bottom, the slaves. We can see government keeps Mesopotamia have the agriculture organized to provide their food, and have laws in Rome to have order, and help Egyptians to have massive achievements in science and technology. Now, going back to the question, what is the purpose of a government in a civilization? Government gives a civilization order and organization. Once the government keeps the civilization organized and have order, the civilization can develop in technology and in many other different regions.